Hey guys, so it is week 2. That is 2 weeks. Actually, it's a little bit more than that because Tuesday would have been the 2-week mark. So it's a little bit over 2-week review update thingamabobber for this. It's just I upload things on the weekends. So let's get into it because there's a lot to go over. So as you know, the sketchbook challenge is this big gigantic 600-page sketchbook. Alright, 300 pages, but 600 because you're supposed to draw on both sides. And the challenge is to get it done within 30 days, yada yada yada. Y'all know spiel by now. Everything, the information will be linked below, along with all the supplies that I use and all of that good fun stuff. So if you guys are curious, just check that out. And yeah, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. So we left off here with this last picture being of Lydia. I have to stand up, that's how big the sketchbook is. So I just kind of continued on with using the memes on Instagram per request of people for different characters making different expressions. So that was a lot of fun. I used a lot of marker for it too. So these pages are quite colorful, and when I would still switch to pen though, just because I didn't want to use up my markers too fast. Haha, spoiler alert, I've used them up too fast. So, and then I wrote like little notes to myself about things to improve on too. Like that's like a terrible expression and whatever. And then there was a pregnancy meme that I decided to put up, and I decided I would just make those as full pages. So I could do more detailed drawings. Plus the positions were a little bit weird. Like I was way off here. But again, when you're sketching with pen, you kind of have to force yourself to commit. So yeah, there's one of Samuel's wife, and then Thea, and then Pipe. Oh wait, no, that's Thea again. A lot of people asked for Thea with this one. That was weird. Piper. And like nobody mentioned the fact that I had the name blocked out, because like no one is ever going to know who her baby daddy is. Because I don't know, but whatever. Emmy's turned out really, really cute. That one turned out really cute. So these were like really, like these are the ones where I did like one page, but I tried to use the whole page. I tried to center and do a little bit more detail where I could, as opposed to like just a drawing that's only like that big on the page. Okay, and then I went back into doing more. I love this one. This one turned out so good. I should take a picture of that and actually put that on Instagram. Then I started using Lex Gallagher's characters, and I've been talking to her, so it's like totally cool. So I've been using them sporadically or a lot throughout this because it's keeping me going. It's keeping me drawing. So her characters make appearances in here usually as chibis, except for here Alejo is himself. And then I use my own characters too. And then I cover up the nudity so that way people don't cry. Let me move this so that way you guys can actually see the lines there. Yeah. And then I just kind of kept going. It really helped to have some sort of inspiration, and we were talking shipping with the characters, and that actually got me going really, really good. It usually does. Shipping usually gets me going. This is where I started doing like more portrait stuff, and then realized I have a really hard time centering. But I just figured I would do a couple quick portraits to loosen up. Let me go ahead and turn this page. And then they started getting bigger. And then someone requested this, a bat version of Piper, another bat version of Piper. She's so cute. I can't even get over it. This was just pretty much a give up page. I got upset, so I stopped. So I started going back into portraits because I'd been having fun with them. Some more, I had a pirate concept too. You see it later on in the book too, but yeah. More shipping stuff. I was trying to incorporate background, but then I realized that the spacing between Vlad and the ground just didn't make sense. So that's something I should be working on too. This was an old sketch that I just rehashed. Just concepting here, just a little bit of a pose here. I also don't draw very many males, like full figure, and I'm trying to do more of that. Then, what was I was listening to Our Love is God from Heather's soundtrack, so I started using soundtrack stuff to put into my doodles and stuff and having reactions. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Alexander there. More portraits. Another portrait. Adam finally made an appearance. I used Crayola on him because my red is dead completely. I killed it. But yeah. It turned out alright, but I'm not thrilled with it. She still doesn't have a name. Then I started doing some scenes from the comic that I would like to have incorporated in. I just started messing with those. This is a scene that I had kind of envisioned between Piper and one of Lex Gallagher's characters, because her story takes place in World War II, so it's World War II Germany, so there's Nazis, y'all. Not encouraging, not like idolizing, just using the historical stuff for it, but there was a story that went along with this one too. Can't turn these pages. Then I started getting lazy, and I could tell I was getting lazy, so I just kind of doodled out a last doodle for the night and went to bed. I can feel when I'm getting lazy and uninspired, and it's just best for me to go lay down or take a break than it is to push through. Usually if I go step away for a minute, I do okay. I come back and I'm pretty good. But it was late at night anyway, and I was tired, so I just went to bed. And then the next morning I got a package, and this is Gray of PTA's Fanboy Dingo. Alright, I need to start flipping because there's a lot here. And then I started doing little chibi comics, which was just absolutely adorable and fun. This is like, I keep coming back to it. Like, I'll do a few pages of it, and then I'll do a few other sketches, and then I'll come back to it. So it's almost like a continuation, like you take a commercial break and then come back to it. More of the pirate concept. Oh, and it was pirate, and it was like 7 Deadly Sins concept. Pirate concept. The mouth is way off on that. I'm just so proud of some of these mistakes. But when it's with pen, it's like, oh darn, it's just work with it as best you can. Continue down with the comic here. This was sweet. This was a scene that I want to have eventually in the comic. I was just thinking about Emmy and Seamus and how they don't get enough love, so I doodled them. I wasted this space here. I might go back and draw something later, but yeah, I was trying to do a couple's portrait too. Another page where I just kind of gave up because I wasn't feeling it, and I was like, you know something, let's move on. Then I moved on to pencil too, because I realized that part of my problem was the pen. I wasn't comfortable with it, so I started using pencil more, and all of a sudden it's like crack, boom, bam, amazing. Like everything started coming a lot easier. So I started working on some Cherry stuff. She's a fighter, if y'all hadn't figured that out. She likes to beat people up because it's fun. Quick portrait. I actually was toying with the style. Now normally, and I'll show you guys the difference real quick. Normally with eyes, I do like big irises with pupils and lots of lashes. When I altered my style, I decided to just take it down to a single circle. This would be like, for Piper it'd be green, for Emmy it'd be blue, for Poppy it'd be green. It just basically, you know, brown, just no more pupils really, and just iris. That was my thinking, and I took away some of the detailing. So I did it for the girls, just to see how it would turn out. And I think it's kind of cute. Some people say yes, some people say no. In the end, you know, I tend to just kind of do what's easiest. I can always adjust. Then I went back to using Lex's characters, Flawed in particular, because I really like him. He's a good character, so. Messing around with some underwear concepts for Piper. Little mushroom scene. She's still underneath the mushroom. Did a portrait of Scarlet really quick because there's not enough ducks in here. Then it got even more fun because then I was like, all right, let's make a. And I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm explaining everything. Oh well. I was like, let's make a scene for Cherry. Like, how does she get recognition? What does she do? Well, there's this really, really big Irish fighter, and he mocks her all the time. She's always at the ring. He mocks her. He's always coming on to her. She's not interested in him at all, even though he's kind of big and kind of cute. But, yeah, she gets moxie-ish one day and decides that she's just going to get in the ring and kick his butt. And so he makes fun of her. And so, like, this guy who knows Cherry, I don't know who this guy is, just some random guy who knows her reputation for being very, very violent and very, very good at being violent, kind of goads her into it. So she's like, yeah, totally into it. And then, like, it's history from there. Did a little child Cherry with a little bit of interaction with her mom. This is Cherry letting the big guy know how she feels. Piper had a bad day. This is World War II Piper. I had this design set up for her for that. She had a bad day. And then I saw the gyro clip for DuckTales coming out. I think it's like next week or something like that. Pretty soon. And he's so amazing. I love his initial characterization. He basically, and someone wrote this in Discord, and I was like, yes, that's exactly it. He's seriously like, shut up, 5s, a 10 is talking. I love it. His attitude is great. I hate that people are already like labeling him. It's like, dude, just shut up and enjoy the goddamn character. But that's how people be. So just more. What I'm basically finding that is working the best for me is I work on my own concepts. I try to hash out my own stuff. And granted, it's what I was doing before, and I get it. But this is the only way it's going to get done. And if I'm being honest, this is what I was neglecting to do anyway. So now I'm being forced to do it. It's kind of cool. Again, a new character. Like, I came up with a new character through this challenge. I don't know. This is Big Bat Guy. I don't have a name for him yet. But he likes food a lot. This is the Big Mouse Guy again. I did full figure sort of in a ring sketch idea. Trying to do more dynamic poses for Cherry because she's a fighter, so she's always going to be in these wonderful dynamic poses. Mega fail right here. Just ignore that. Quick 7-inch Kara fan art. Tried to do superhero, totally failed. Tried to do scenery, totally failed. Like, scenery in particular is the one thing I hate doing. Like, just a city shot, it's like, who cares? and I know that that's awful. Really what I should be focusing on, and I think why I lost interest in it so quickly, is because it's like regular human city shot. I should work on, like, from a mouse perspective and stuff like that, because I think that that would be far more interesting. Working on this concept of post-World War II Piper. When she comes home, she basically has a really hard time readjusting. She sleeps on the floor because she's not used to beds and things like that. I don't know. I had like this really, really sad thing where like she just kind of, you know, sleeps around and kind of goes through a bout of depression because, you know, all the crap that she saw. And then one of the guys comes and visits her and she's happy again. Big Bat Guy likes Piper. They get along. They're chums. They're really good friends. I like it too because it's something I think I failed to show within my the conceptual world that I've made, is that like they can be friends. Just because they're aristocracy doesn't mean she can't be friends with them. And she gets along with him pretty well. I was watching Rama and I was like, hey, let's make an Akane mouse. And I basically made a mouse based on Akane Tendo's hairstyle. Like, literally. That's the only reason I did it. I was talking with someone about how Russian winters are super cold, and they are. But I'm from Michigan, so sometimes we get like -35, -45 degree winters too. But it hasn't happened lately, so we're praying that that doesn't happen again. We talked a lot about climate change too. It was a really good conversation. Ants, just being ants. Witch Piper, which I love because she's so cute. I don't know. I flipped through. I have the Posemania or Posemaniacs free app. So you swipe through and it gives you different poses and stuff like that. And I saw a nice back pose. And I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that one. And then I did a quick Andrew. This is where I was starting to get a little bit tired too. Another Cherry. This was a good one. I like how this turned out because I really do have a hard time with foreshortening and stuff, but here I feel like I was pretty gosh darn successful, so I'm very happy with it. Yes. This is that new character. She doesn't have a name yet. I just kind of fleshed her out a little bit. This is also another new character. It's going to be Big Bat's wife. I don't know her name or anything like that. I just know that she's a good person. I had an ibuprofen bottle in my hand. I was like, I'm going to draw this. So I did. And then I drew Piper. Because in the world that I'm making, I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's a good idea. Like, it's like normal sized, but like there's only a couple pills in it. Like someone threw it out because they were done with it. So Piper grabs it up because she's like a nurse pharmacist thing, like current day. And so she like breaks the pills apart and then divvies them up for distribution. She's basically a drug dealer. But no, it's part of her nursing practice. So I like it. Then I forced myself to start doing stuff a little bit more, like filling the page again. And Andrew and Anne's do have a little bit of a spat sometime within the story. because Andrew's very mean to Piper, and Ans does not like it because he doesn't like girls crying. This was a concept I was talking with Lex about too, that Piper's a very big lightweight. She doesn't drink ever, so World War II is like, and I like had this idea that she was like with a Russian squad or something. I don't know why, but so like they give her vodka and she can't handle, it's a nasty drink, so she just hurries up and drinks it. She doesn't realize that drinking it faster gets you drunk faster. So, and Athelstan is actually there because he speaks English. It's part of the Chibi comic from earlier, and he's just like making fun of her. It's kind of nice. Not really making fun of her, but just talking with her. Tried to do full body Anns. Did a quick Alexander. Current day, I'm kind of jumping around between timelines with it, just to keep my interest. Selfie pose from Scarlet. I tried. Perspective is hard. And then this, I think, no, that's not the last one. This was just a quick doodle I did of Piper and Andrew, but it's just off, and I'm not happy with it, so whatever. We were talking about, me and Lex this morning, we were talking about how the gang that is in her story uses the painting that they do for the Day of the Dead, sort of as like a symbol thing, and then they end up stopping it. But I was like, I'm gonna do Piper up as that, and it doesn't work. She like, if intimidation is what she's looking for, it doesn't work. She's just the most adorable little skull girl ever. Whatever. And then I was working on Emmy as a magician here, and then I realized the perspective is off, so I'm trying to just correct myself over on the side somewhere. I think that's what I'm going to have to start doing, so that way I can see what I see wrong and then try to do it right again. And then I'm not wasting, and I'm using the paper the way I'm supposed to. So for those of you who are curious, this is how much more I have to go to actually be where I'm supposed to be today. Now, to be fair, I did about that much just last night, starting with the pencil. I started with the pencil and I kept going. So I'm going to keep with the pencil because it's helping me to be faster. And then once I catch up, I can maybe switch back over to pen. But for now, I'm going to stick with the pencil. I'm having more fun with it anyway. And I feel like I can actually add more detail with the pencil than I can with the pen. Because, you know, hand pressure. Anyway, so that's my update. This is week 2, guys. It's going really well. I'm enjoying it. I'm just finding that to do it every day, 20 pages isn't feasible when I have other responsibilities like a home to take care of, a job to go find, animals got sick. It just, my dog was throwing up from like 5 a.m. until probably almost 5 a.m. Wednesday to Thursday, and it was like the worst sound ever. And every time I tried to grab a nap really quick, she'd start throwing up again, and then I had to run after her cleaning up because I don't want it to stain the carpet. But again, those are just reasons, but not really excuses. So yeah, it's going really, really well. I'm trying to utilize the papers more, trying to do a few more finished sketches here and there. I feel like, again, when I finish the sketch, it's more rewarding than just doing a scribble here and there. And I'll admit to the fact that I get lazy, so I just do a little portrait like that. I mean, technically, it's still fulfilling the requirement, but I'm trying to do better than the requirement because why the hell would I not want to be an overachiever? Don't mind me, guys. But whatever. It's going. I'm almost halfway there, actually, and I'm super excited about it. So, wish me luck, guys. I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and then I'm going to get right back into sketching. So, I'll see you guys probably sometime next weekend with another update. Bye!